You trust the food on your table, but do you trust the people behind it?
Walmart and other supermarkets have been recalled because of botulism risk.
When was the last time you looked at a food label and knew exactly where it came from?
Some of the more well-known causes of recent outbreaks include Salmonella, Listeria, E. coli, and Cyclospora.
If your family's safety and budget are on the line, shouldn't you know who's growing your food?
I think most people would be shocked to know that the FDA, which has responsibility for over 80% of the food supply, may go to a plant, but once every 3 to 4 to 5 years.
Join the local food revolution before it's too late.
We've handed over our food security to someone else, and they're here to help you take it back. It's the Farm to Table Direct Show with Ryan and Keith.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's show where we're going to be talking about the local food revolution. Why you support your local farmers. Take back the morning tonight, before the season topics in the chat. Hope tonight we have some super hot topics. It'll be a great show. There's 2 out of this morning. We're going to jump right into it, so let's go. Good evening, everybody.
Hey, good evening.
All right. Let's talk right into this, man. I mean, listen, folks, the way we buy food is changing. More people than ever are choosing locally sourced food. 44% of consumers are buying more local produce than they did last year. And that's according to the Packers Fresh Trends 2023, which we'll get into later. But the question is, why? And knowing your farmer isn't just a nice thought. It's a revolution in food, safety, health, and affordability. If you saw our teaser, you know this just isn't about preference, it's about trust. And do you really know who's growing your food? And let's start off with this question. If you wouldn't let a stranger cook for your family, why are you letting one grow your food? Bro, what do you say?
Well, I think that's a good point, and I never really thought about it like that. I always trusted the food system before, but as of the last few years has really taught me not to trust it and to give my wholehearted approval to that system. And there's a lot of different reasons out there, but I kind of want to get into a personal story about trusting our food system. And one of the things that kind of miffed me, to be honest with you, is that whenever I go into a grocery store and I put a few things in my basket and I walk and I check out and I look at the price and what's in my basket, it insults me.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
don't it's not even it's not even that it's a natural thing. Oh, well, if prices go up, they go down, and the market is just what it is. No, it's not like that. It didn't have to be this way. And, personally, my reason that I started off with to try to look into shopping local, other than the fact that I seen what they were doing, to our food, um, was the prices. It doesn't have to be that way. The people who are in charge of a lot of this stuff has put certain things into play that, quite frankly, was with bad intention. Now, that's my opinion. You may not agree with me, but that's what I think. It just really didn't have to be this way. So when I see the prices, at the checkout counter, it makes me angry.
Right. Well, think back, bro, to the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. Have we seen prices go down? Even when, relief allegedly came, or even when they stimulated the economy with checks, no. Once those prices climb, they're not coming back down, not voluntarily.
No.
So I mean, yeah, we
Right.
should be offended. I used to be able to go into the world's largest retailer and fill up a basket for certain amount of money, a couple $100.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy if I can walk out of there under $100. I mean,
I'm about to say it's crazy when the stuff you buy for 1 meal, you don't even fill up like a quarter of the cart, and it's you pay $50, or you buy like you get like 1 meal out of just one trip. It's just like, are you crazy?
Man, I'm asking you, where in the world can you fill up a quarter of your cart for $50? I
Not
need
even,
to start
that's what I
shopping
say.
there.
It's not even a quarter. It's like one little corner of the cart. Like it's like I got like one bag and it's like $50. And it's just one meal. I was like, are you crazy?
You shopping at the 10 buy or the dented can store?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. It's absolutely
Yeah, and
crazy.
so,
But I mean, it is these food prices. And listen, folks, they're not going to get any better. I mean, why do they? What's their incentive to lower their food prices? What's their incentive to pull back on it? I mean, because they're a retail business, they're going to make money, and they've got everybody comfortable. Well, I say comfortable. They've got everybody conditioned to seeing those high prices. So, are they going to go backwards
mhm,
voluntarily? No, not a chance. So the only way they're going to go backwards the only way they're going to bring that down is if we find another solution and we stop shopping there. And that's what it's
yeah,
about
I agree with
is
that. Yeah.
finding alternative places to get your food and to bring it back local. And we've got a little video about the food prices. And we're going to share that with you and kind of lead on into that right there. So if you would roll that beautiful video
A
footage,
new report now predicting
Yes,
we could
sir.
be paying more at the grocery store. Elena Athens has more on what's behind the price hike.
2025 might not bring much relief. The USDA is now predicting all food items will go up almost 2%.
You're hoping to get a raise this year, right? Because you're definitely going to need more money.
It might be a new year, but seems same story at the grocery store. Food prices are expected to tick up again after years of high inflation. The USDA says the prediction of nearly 2% for all food items is rising at a slower pace than the historical rate of growth. Shoppers, though, are still struggling.
It's a lot tougher. I found myself not going to the grocery store to buy a whole lot of groceries like I used to.
It also takes away of other things as well.
NerdWallet, using data from the latest Consumer Price Index report, finds food prices are up 28% since 2019 because of higher operating costs, supply chain disruptions, and corporate profits. Maria Vernon says on this trip to the store, she grabbed milk, some vegetables, honey, cereal, and eggs. She was taken aback by the final cost.
It's funny because when I was coming out, I looked at this and the total is 120 and there isn't single meat in it.
The USDA also estimates for 2025 the prices for food away from home, so that would be restaurants, will go up about 3.5%. In Raleigh, Elena Athens, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
that right there, bro, that right there just brought back what we were just talking about. This inflation and what look at you seen that cart, $120, wasn't even full, no meat, you know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it just
Right, that's the cart that I was just talking about. It's like it had about a fourth. I mean, unless that was a smaller cart, but had about a fourth, and she paid $120 for that. So
and I think we're
yeah,
out with the argument of of that it's cheaper
right,
to buy there than it is these other places like farmers markets or things like. I think we're going to get into the fact that that argument is a moot. It's no longer a valid argument.
Null and void.
And
yeah,
Dakota was just sharing. I'm going to share this right quick. Just throw this.
Yeah.
It's just at Walmart that's fixing to remodel everything. Everything was on clearance, 50 to 75% off, except food. Yeah,
I saw that comment. I was going to ask him
wow,
how many tools he bought. So
Well, I liked his follow up comment. He said he bought like $300 of fishing gear for roughly $100. So hey, $300 in fishing gear for about $100, and you
yeah,
could go fishing and feed your family cheaper than you could have bought the fish.
exactly.
Well, there you go. Circumvention, we call that. But yeah, it is that point. What did they say? The percentage increases this year, and even in the fast food industry. So these food prices at these retailers is just going to continue to climb. And I say the retailers, the big box stores, the ones that are in that national chain, that their products are carried by the big four, the big mega producers,
Mm-mm.
those types of things. And I mean, so really we kind of got to ask ourselves, because there has been, I read earlier, and we're going to get into it more, that 44% of consumers buying local, and we're going to break that down here in just a minute. But the question is, why are people choosing local? You know, Because, I mean, there's a shift in our consumer habits, and
Well, I think we've already proven a big part of the why. However, there is more reasons, and there's different
right.
people with different reasons as to
Mhm.
why they're shifting. And I just want to share where you got that 44% from. And that's the Packers Fresh Trends 2023. Let me see if I can do a share screen here.
While he's doing that,
And
hey,
let's
everybody,
see.
and we know you're in chat. We're not ignoring you. We've got a lot to cover, and this is a hot issue. So we'll get there when we can. But welcome in, everybody. Glad to see you all here. Look forward to your chat comments.
Yeah, so this was from the Packers, and I just want to read something here to you. This is local produce purchases up for 4 in 10 consumers. Fresh Trends 2023 reveals. Now, under this editor's note, it says the following is based on results from the Packers Fresh Trends 2023, which provides insight based on survey responses from consumers since 1983. The Packer has sponsored 40 major consumer studies to track trends in the purchases and consumption of fresh produce, documenting the fluctuation in purchases of specific fruits and vegetables, as well as changing attitudes toward industry issues. And this is where we got it right here. And the next one says 44% of consumers polled by the Packers Fresh Trends 2023 said they were buying more locally grown produce than a year ago. All right. Then it goes on down. It says beyond that, 29% of consumers polled in October 2022 said they were buying the same amount of locally grown produce, and then 27% of consumers said they were not buying more locally grown produce compared with a year ago. Now, keep in mind this was 2023, but this next point that was down here is something that I found, a little bit interesting, and that is wealthy consumers were the most likely to answer yes to the question. Are you buying more locally grown produce than 1 year ago? Um, and it was talking about that those people who were asked, like 53%, right down here, 53% said consumers making more than $100,000 a year, polled by Fresh Trends 2023, said they purchased more locally grown produce in the past year. And so I found that to be quite interesting. And the fact that people perceive, or is a reality, that buying local is more expensive. That's what it kind of looked like to me, that was an indicator. That is, people who thought they could afford to buy fresher local type
Right.
produce was doing so.
So many of the people, I mean, the rest of that I think went on to, percentage of those who made under 25,000 or something like that. And it's, it is that fact that when you make less, yeah, you're reading Jack's comment. It is when people
Yeah.
feel like their budget's in a crunch or they're not making the money they need to, and that, that it's going to cut, they can't afford to go do that, which, by the way, is the paradigm that they want you caught in. That's the trick bag that they want us caught in, is that we think we can afford to do that. So we go over
Right.
here and we shop in the prepackaged aisle because it's cheaper, it's convenient, et cetera, et cetera. And, Cindy and I were talking earlier on the drive over that, we've gotten away from making stuff from scratch. We've gotten away from cooking. We want it to go. We want it fast, you know, and it's got us caught in that system, but people are, they want transparency. They want safety. You know, they want fresh food, and that's why the local farms are growing in demand so much. Um, and it is that thing that when they're doing that, you know, and let's get into the fact freshness and flavor. That's a big thing. Fresh food. That was transparency and safety. They want to know what's in it. They want to know where it was made. They want to trust it. They want to feel safe about it, and they no longer trust the chain. They no longer trust. Too many recalls, too many things going out there. They're reading ingredients like we talked about the labels last week. People are reading, they're getting informed.
Mhm.
And so, when that happens, people are going to seek out alternative methods. And this is, like I said the other day, Monday on my show, this is a golden opportunity right now for local farmers and homesteaders to fill that demand, to fill that need, and we need more of them. And we're going to get to, yeah, I want to
Good
get
point.
Dakota's. He hits this
Yeah.
right here. Honestly, not enough supply locally. If people woke up and started shopping local, yeah, it would overrun, but it would create a demand, I think, and the demand I think is already there. But I think that but yeah, it's going to take us meeting the consumer need, provide that. But
Yeah. So earlier, Dakota, you and I were having a conversation. Now, when I say Dakota, I mean Mr. P over here. Um, we were having a conversation about your trip to Aldi, and your trip to Aldi. You had bought some meat. Tell me your experience with buying meat from Aldi.
where'd it go?
Uh-oh. I think we lost our feed.
He's sending smoke.
Okay. So one of the things sending smoke signals. Yeah. So anyway, I'll just go ahead and tell the
Can you
story.
hear me now?
And that is that,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I can
My
hear you now.
headset
All
decided
right.
to frizz out there for a second. Don't ask me. No, we had went to Aldi's and we bought it was a small little hamburger meat. We was gonna cook hamburgers here at the house. And we got home, we cooked it, and I don't know if it's just I've gotten used to like store bought like Walmart, but just buying Aldi's, when I cooked it, I tasted a
Mhm.
difference. It tasted better. There was no like anything added extra into it. I don't know if it was just I've yet to go back right now to buy some more yet. But our plan is we're going to start trying to stop going to Walmart eventually, like slowly wean away from buying meat there
Mhm.
and buy it elsewhere, so that way it doesn't have all the preservatives or additives in there that sort of keep it. But for me, that all these things
Right.
taste a lot. Yeah,
Didn't come from Brazil.
Well, I was going to say, you say did it look different?
it looked a whole lot different too. It looked more. It looked. It, it's gonna be weird. It looked more fresh. There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Fresh.
Thank you.
Right.
It looked a lot more fresh and not,
Right.
like it'd been on a truck for 36 hours.
Well, and that is, that
Right.
is such a valid statement. That's such a point, that we talk about, the fact that locally grown or less transportation time, locally grown food and less tastes better.
hmm
It's harvested at its peak ripeness. A tomato from the supermarket tastes nothing like picked one from a local garden or a local
hmm
farm. I mean, there's difference.
Exactly.
It's different between
100%.
taste, and beef is no different. I don't know if many people have seen the meme picture uh, uh, of a packaged beef that's been through all the stuff and one that come from a processor. World of difference. How much, Dakota? That's all I'm asking. How
Yeah.
much?
How much?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Dakota made a comment with this. He said, "We need more educated consumers, but we likewise need more people producing."
hmm
And I guess that's why I say it goes to this point that right now is a time when those who have the ability to produce or those who have facilities. I mean, I listen to Jack and them talk every week and talk how many eggs they're selling, how well they're doing in that, and how much they're producing and how that's going. That's it. But anyway,
Mhm.
he said, "I'll sell you a cow in October." How much? How much?
Yeah.
What kind of cow and how much? But that's the question.
Yeah.
Let's talk after the
We
show.
know how to get hold of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is that freshness. A place like Aldi, who, and we're going to get into it a little bit later, but a place like, other places like that, alternative stores, fresh market places where, man, when you taste the difference, if it did cost a little more, you know why.
hmm
You know, um,
Mhm.
thank you, Jack. Yes,
Yeah.
everybody hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. We need that. Thank you, Jack. But now we're going to talk for a minute about our friends in the environmental movement.
You mean the environmental nuts? I mean the environmentalist. Did I
Yeah,
say that right?
some have concerned citizens, But anyway,
Uh,
uh, but listen, no, seriously, we're joking around a little bit. But
hmm
we need y'all on board because listen, the carbon footprint of imported food, of food that is trucked, that is gone through the processors, all this food. I mean, the commercial food, listen, their carbon footprint's pretty high. I mean, I ain't talking about the cow farts either. Okay. Get that one off your agenda. We're not talking about the cow farts here. Okay. Leave the
Yeah,
farts
leave
alone.
our
It's
farts
part of their
alone.
biological makeup. They need to fart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Otherwise, they swell up, blow up, and well, that would be
Right.
bad for everybody. But but that carbon footprint
Yeah.
is food. Its food has traveled thousands of miles before it's reached your plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to talk myself out of a job as a truck driver, but that truck burns. There is that. Whereas locally, that thing has, or even regionally, it has. It's had less time in a truck, less time in refrigeration, less
Mm-hmm.
things have been done to it. It's fresher, and it's reducing carbon footprint. So it's a win-win for both sides. Um, uh, you know, hey, gotta have it. And it really does come into food safety and trust. I want to hit this right fast, Dakota. I'm going to stop on this. I want to start a local producer market like a farmer's market, but in a store format. Dakota, we need to talk. There's one like that down here where I live, close to where I live, between me and Keith. That's exactly what they're set up like that.
Yeah.
They take orders, they ship it out. They're basically a hub store, but it's set up in that very similar format. So I think Farm Hub, that type of thing, Dakota's right up your alley like that. I think it'd be really good.
I was about to say I saw that comment. I was going to bring it up if you didn't, because that's actually a very awesome idea, and I
Right.
forget we have one around here. Honestly,
Um,
Well, Greg and Donna there has a question over there. Um,
oh,
he was talking about, to Dakota at Opacon. He said, "Are you talking about like the one at that one Berkeley farm has?" Where's Berkeley Farm? Does anybody know where that's at? Because I'm not sure. I kind of want to know. And since Greg is a homegrown boy here, I'd kind of like to know, is that local
yeah.
to us?
But yeah, please continue to answer that in the chat because but we got still to go.
Yeah.
Let's get on up back. Let's move on into
Yeah.
the food safety and trust issue of this. Because that's a big thing. Because recent recalls, they've shaken a lot of confidence, and rightfully so. And so, if you had the chance to meet the person who grows your food, wouldn't you trust it more? That's my question. But let's replay that teaser.
Okay.
Let's go back and look at that.
yep. Here we
You
go.
trust the food on your
Thank you.
table, but do you trust the people behind it?
Walmart and other supermarkets have been recalled because of botulism risk.
When was the last time you looked at a food label and knew exactly where it came from?
Some of the more well-known causes of recent outbreaks include Salmonella, Listeria, E. coli, and Cyclospora.
If your family's safety and budget are on the line, shouldn't you know who's growing your food?
I think most people would be shocked to know that the FDA, which has responsibility for over 80% of the food supply, may go to a plant, but once every 3 to 4 to 5 years.
Join the local food revolution before it's too late.
All right. And back. There we are. All right. Okay. Well, it goes back to that question. If you had the chance to meet the person who grows your food, wouldn't you trust it more? And
Absolutely.
those inspectors that are supposed to be there, and yet indications are they're not. So maybe things aren't as
Right.
What the heck is cyclospore? Google machine, man. Google machine.
Hey, yeah, do a little research over there and let us know, Dakota.
But that there's so much there that we've trusted that for years. We've trusted the system, and the last few years has shown that we can't trust that system the way we used to. And certainly, when you get into labels and you get into what's been allowed, to hit the store shelves, it is, absolutely that we can't trust it. Now, with that, the answer, of course, is the power of knowing your farmer. It's knowing your farmer. It is buying local, buying and knowing your local farmer, knowing where things come from, having confidence, being able to meet Bob and shake his hand and talk about how things are done and let him educate you on how he grew that vegetable or how he raised that cow. You know, that's the immediate benefits, right? But let's look at some financial benefits because that's the big argument that everybody makes about buying local or buying from farmers
That's right.
markets and farm hubs and things like that, is that it costs more to eat healthy. It costs more to eat well. And I used to believe that too, but not after going to the store lately. Okay. Not after seeing yes, some things are going to. And we should understand that those people are worth what their effort that they put into it is, and they're worth their wage. A worker is worth his wage, and so we need to be concerned with that. But if it's healthy and it's good for you, is it worth a few pennies more? So let's get into that. And let's look at this Aldi. We talked about it earlier. We mentioned Aldi. Kind of dig into Aldi in a little bit of
Mhm.
that. So if you would roll that beautiful B footage, Mr.
So
B.
there's this woman, Julie Heron, Nashville, Tennessee, retired elementary school teacher, the kind of person who clips coupons, keeps a running grocery list on the fridge, and up until recently could tell you the price of a gallon of milk without even thinking about it. And then, one day, something shifts. At first, it's subtle. A few cents more here, a dollar more there, but then it's everything. Eggs, bread, coffee, the kind of stuff you don't even think about until suddenly you have to. One afternoon, she's standing in the bread aisle, holding a loaf of bread that used to be $2.99. Now it's $4.50. She puts it back. It feels ridiculous to pay that much for bread. And that's when she realizes something. I've been buying groceries the same way my whole life. Same stores, same habits, and now, suddenly, I feel like I have no control. And Julie, who has spent a lifetime stretching every dollar, does not like that feeling. So she starts looking for alternatives. She tries shopping sales, using apps, even switching stores. But it's not really helping. Then one day, she hears someone in line at the post office talking about Aldi. I got my eggs there for half the price. Their produce is fresher than Kroger. You have to bag your own groceries, but who cares? Now, Aldi is not like the grocery store she's used to. No big name brands, no long aisles with 12 different kinds of peanut butter, just a small, simple store. She starts filling her cart. Eggs, local, and half price. Milk, local, cheaper. Organic chicken. Wait, since when could she afford organic chicken? She checks out and realizes she spent $40 less than usual. But something else happens too. The food tastes different. It tastes better. The vegetables last longer in her fridge. The eggs have richer yolks. She starts noticing her food in a way she never did before. So she leans in. She starts reading labels, looking at where her food actually comes from. She realizes she feels better knowing that her eggs are from a farm a few counties over, not trucked in from 1,000 miles away. She starts going to farmers markets. She buys strawberries that actually taste like strawberries. And soon, her friends start teasing her, calling her the Aldi Queen. They'd be like, Julie, we get it. You love Aldi. And I'd be like, no, you don't understand. This is different. This is better. A bigger realization. At first, this was just about saving money. But then Julie realizes it's about more than that. Because she's not just finding better prices, she's finding better food. Fresher food. Food that isn't coated in wax or pumped full of preservatives to survive a cross-country truck ride. She starts learning about the way food is distributed in America, how most grocery stores are locked into deals with massive suppliers, how most of the food in the supermarket, even the stuff labeled local, isn't actually local, how it was picked weeks ago, packed in refrigeration units, and shipped thousands of miles before it even hits the shelf. She starts asking herself, why am I trusting a system I know nothing about when I could be buying from people right here in my own community? And this is where something shifts for Julie. This is where she realizes that maybe she isn't just shopping differently. Maybe she's a part of something bigger. Julie is not alone. More and more people, 44% of consumers last year, are making the same shift, moving away from big chain grocery stores, looking for food that's closer to home, food they can trust. Because in a world where food recalls keep happening, where grocery store prices fluctuate with global supply chain issues, where you don't know if your strawberries in your fridge came from California or Argentina, there's something radical about knowing exactly where your food comes from. Knowing your farmer, knowing your food, knowing that what you're putting on your plate is fresh, real, and, well, good. Julie started shopping differently because she wanted to save money. But in the process, she found something even more valuable, a connection to her food. And once you find that, you don't go back.
Bro, I'm going to let you comment just a second on that. On that video. I mean, that was a story that kind of yeah, bravo, giving off. You know,
Well, first of all, I want to say that, that was her journey. That's a real story for real people out there. And of course, it has to be one of those things that resonates with me when I read something, and then, we make, then we write up our own stuff for it. But the points that I took from that is that in this homestead community, I began to feel this connection to my food like I never had before. Yeah, of course, I knew that, um, that there are bad people with bad intentions who want to control all of our resources. I get that part. But, it went further than that. When I started understanding the nutritional value of local food and how much better it is for you and how much better it tastes, I was gaining that connection. So that kind of really resonated, with me about that. And, and, I'm hoping that that this also resonates with some of you out there. We are here at the Farm to Table Direct Show. It's in the name. That's what we're preaching. That's our message to everybody. Is buying local, and we're taking it to heart, and we're trying to do the same thing ourselves. And now one of the things that was addressed in here, and I would like to do a little bit more research. I went to Aldi, and they operate differently, but I didn't understand just exactly how they were doing that. One of the things that it brings up when we talk about Aldi is that they're doing things a little bit differently, and meaning to say that, as I understand it, they're buying things a little bit more locally, and they're not depending on these larger food supply chains as much. Now, I don't know to what depth that they go with this business model, but what it brought up in my mind was we should think outside the box, and I want to coin a different term. Let's think outside the big box store, right? And so there's better ways to do this. And here a little bit later on, I want to show you guys when we get into some of the solutions, some of the clever things that people come up with to, and I don't want to use this word, but I'm going to steal it from our Democrat friends out there to reimagine food. Okay, but not, but not the way you think. Okay,
is no more.
so right, but yeah, that's kind of
Well,
where my heart's at on that.
one of the things, I mean, that story, and of course, I've been into an Aldi and have a look, there is that it moves in that direction of busting the myth of local things or regional things being more expensive. Now, I know that Aldi, good hashtag, Jack. Thank you. The um, the thing with Aldi is they don't have a lot of employees. You're gonna probably, you may bag your own stuff, but is that still what's going on over there, Dakota? You bag your own,
Yeah, you bring your own bags in, bring your stuff out. So,
so you're not paying for that. Not that we
yeah.
get Walmart now anyway. Everything's self checkout. Who's bagging anything? But you don't have plastic bag expense because you got to bring a bag or something. They reduce expenses in a lot of ways, and I was in Germany for a total of about 3 years, and it is really made up on a very similar. In fact, Aldi is from over there, but it's made up on a very similar on that same platform of, you know, there's nobody there. They check it, but you're bagging your own food. You bring a bag. Um,
Mhm.
you go to the store, and every Aldi is different. They're similar. I mean, they're all set up the same, but what's on the shelf may be different based on where you're at.
Right.
You know, and you can
Mhm.
find things there that you're not going to find anywhere else. And we got to get past the marketing of the name right? That's what a lot of us buy off of, the name
Mhm.
we know. We've seen this particular product, Kraft mac and cheese, or Dr. Pepper, Lay's potato chips, whatever.
Mhm.
All these bad things for us that we named off there. But we're used to seeing those names, and they've been around our lives forever. And so we just go with that automatically, and it's part of marketing. There was a movie several years ago with Eddie Murphy, and that's what he ran on. He had the same last name as the previous candidate who had died. And he said, trust the name you know. Yeah. And voted for him because they recognized the
Right.
name. They didn't know who it was, they just knew the name. And it's the same thing when we go to the store. Whereas you go to some place like Aldi or some of these other places, you might have to try something a little different. That it's not the name you know, but it might be a better product, healthier product, and you
Mhm.
know fresher, and that's a big thing there too. So that's the big thing. Less time in transit, fewer chemicals, no misleading labels. You know, uh, how many preservatives and additives are in your grocery store produce? With local food, we don't have to ask that question. Yeah, yeah.
Right. We don't have to
Well,
wonder about it, right? And, I really
yeah,
like that
and
aspect
here's
of it.
another thing: every dollar spent locally stays in the community. Like I said, you go to a farmer's market, you go to a farm, direct to the farmer, you're cutting out that middleman and everything. Well, guess what? A whole lot more of that money is staying in that guy's pocket than any other way you can buy. And that's why when people like Dakota or people like wow, uh, Pharmacy Farm to Table Bridge, who want to have those stores and stuff, who want to do
Yep.
those things, that's connecting and that's helping link everything together. And I think that it just, it's not about food; it's about supporting families, versus corporations. And so I think that's it. But you know, I guess, bro. I guess the next question is, well, how do they join this revolution?
Well, before we get to that, I kinda wanna go to a
Oh,
blast
hey,
from the
blast from the past,
past.
right?
Rewind.
Yeah. Now, I'm willing to bet that most of the people that
What?
we have watching this right now didn't didn't get hooked up with some of our earlier conversations, especially when we were slightly more political than we are now. No, we're still political. We try not to
Well, the
speak
entire
a
show.
whole lot about the political aspects, right? But yeah, it was just a little short that we made based on a show that we did. It was about lab grown chicken meat, and and what I want to just say about that is that they're really trying to do this. We even had one. I should have brought it up. Also, another blast from the past is where you, me, and Josh
Yes.
ate bugs. Right?
Tonight,
Yeah. Go out there and look that one up. I didn't prepare it for tonight, but I do have one that is prepared for you.
I was
You have
just saying.
something to say there, bro? Before, or are you just
Well, I
gagging?
made a comment the other night in one of the chats or something. That ketchup was the duct tape of the food world. That it makes. I'm stealing this from Jeremy, our other nephew. He said ketchup is the duct tape of the
Yeah.
food world. It makes good food better and bad food tolerable. But what I will tell you is that ketchup does nothing to help a bug. Nothing. Doesn't even
You
fake.
don't touch it.
Side note: this was before my time on the show, so I was not in here for that
Yeah.
part. So.
No, that was Keith's son Josh that was with us when he was working with us at the time, and yeah, it's a funny video. It's hilarious to watch us practically gag on bugs. But let's
Right.
get into this one. This is kind
So,
of playing tonight.
yeah, I'm going to set it up
Okay.
just a little bit more. Just remember, what we're talking about here is where certain people, bad people with bad intentions, or good people with bad intentions. I don't know, but this is really where they want to take us. And when you realize that, this will become even more funny or not funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll that.
Rewind.
Blast from the past.
Ow! What? Honey, that's a bone. The animal that chicken comes from has them.
I knew that. I just never bit one.
Why don't you try swallowing them whole? There's candy on the inside. Ruby, not everyone can afford unprinted food.
That's it. This stuff isn't going to hit them. It's not going to affect them. They can, it's us that they want. It's down here.
It's all about the control.
And you better start getting stuff ready now, or you're going to be at their control. And they're trying to centralize our food into their controls.
Right. Well, some people might call you a conspiracy theorist.
I've got my tinfoil hat out in the truck. I mean, whatever. It's only a conspiracy until it's proven true. I love that clip.
Y'all have no idea how bad I wish I had the soundboard right here just for the conspiracy theory part.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, should have made a hat. Oh, there you go. I was just wondering if you were bringing your hat tonight or not. Yeah, that thing looks like you got ridges from a dinosaur on it or something right there. Yeah.
But no, it's a blast from the past, but it just really lets you know where they want us to go with food. That's where they want us to go, and nothing has changed in their agenda. It's the bird flu outbreak that suddenly has popped up in the last 2 years. Suddenly, dairy cows are affected. Suddenly, backyard flocks, chickens are being wiped out by the millions. It's just it's like they got us in a chute, and they're trying to herd us to the gate, down the direction they want us to go. And the only way to fight that is to buy local. Is to find alternative means. Get out of the rat race.
Yeah.
Get out of the system.
That's it.
And
Yeah. I think this is the appropriate time to push the name of the show, The Farm to Table Direct Show. Just in case you guys didn't get it before, we'll take every opportunity we can to
plug it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
all right.
Man, that video cracks me up, and I'm still thinking about bugs. But anyway, we want everybody to join this local food revolution. I'm telling you, I believe that if we do, we put them out of business. Now, I've alluded to on the morning show, a little bit of an attack on the Amish communities. And I shared with you, and I'm going to say it out loud, I believe that it's real. I believe that it's happening. And the reason is because they are the crown jewel of a community that can live without government assistance, can live without the government telling them how to do things, can live and trade and have food and raise things and have a parallel economy and do all those things. They are the shining example. And guess what? If they don't need the government, they're a threat. And that's the same. Yeah.
Interesting. That's a very interesting take on that, bro. And we had that conversation earlier, and I'll have to tell you, I, for one, agree with you. They're like, let's take the big dogs down first, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just, if I was Sun Tzu, I don't know if everybody knows who that is, Art of War. These would be the kind of moves that I would make, would take that kind of fortress down first, and so anyway,
appreciate
good
it.
point,
We need to get into some practical steps. We need to get into some actionable steps that that our listeners, that people out there who may listen to this later, that y'all can take. And we talked about, we've shared before. We've talked about our self-reliance scale, and where we all stand on that scale has got to be self-evaluated, and we talked honestly and openly that we're pretty far to the left of that scale.
How about
And
we give the folks a quick reminder of
Hmm.
that scale, guys?
good idea, Mr. P.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Okay. All right. Telegram, far left, fast food, ready made, 0% home prepared, goes to mostly convenience, half and half, 50-50, mostly prepared, and then 100% home prepared. You know. And on the local scale, which is where we're at tonight, 100% big box, centralized, zero local food. Um, then we move over to mostly big box, half and half, mostly local, and then 100% local. And, being honest, like we were saying, we're pretty far to that left side right over there, trying to move more to the center, get a little further right in that scale. And so it's real important to kind of self evaluate where you're at. But there's practical ways to get started with this. And one of those is just simply to buy one local food item this week. Just go buy. I like it. Jack said they're far right. Well, that's
Yeah.
because
That's good, Jack.
that's
I want
because
to
you
come
live
live
where
with
you
you.
live, and there is nothing but local. Oh, I'm sorry. Just picking on you. Just picking on you. Walmart's a
That's
long
just
drive.
mean.
That's all I'm saying. No, not really. But just got to pick them. But no, it's
God bless you, Jack Dyer.
yeah. Buy one local item. Doesn't matter what it is. Go buy something local. Like I said, oh, on prep, but not far enough on the right local. Okay, good call. You know, and listen, that's it. It's all. We're all at different places, and so if you go buy something local, we're getting ready. It's getting very close. Just another month and a half, and we're into farmers market season. But also there's other places you can go buy things locally. See, Rebecca said I shopped at the farmers market from the farmer that grew that food, and that is that's what that's all about. That's the solution. You knew who grew that food, and that's one of my favorite things about going to those types of places is you actually get to talk to them about what they do. And that's well, in fact, that was the very next thing. Visit a farmer's market or farm stand if there's one open near.
Right.
Go check them out. Join a CSA, Community Supported Agriculture Program. Those are a little show. You might have to look a little more to find somebody that's doing that. But they're out there. And of course, one of the things that we're talking about on the morning show right now is starting a small garden. Even if it's just herbs on a windowsill, something, microgreens. I mean, something, that takes back just a little bit more of that control and slides you a little further right on that independence and self-reliant scale.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, bro, that it can be any
Oh, yeah.
mixture of those things. It can be all, it can be one, or in any mix of those types of things. And and I'm taking a hybrid approach because of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So so me taking that hybrid approach, on mine, I want to grow some things, especially things that we use really often. That's fairly easy to grow. And then I also want to buy from some local people and arrange things to, thank you for that, Jack. Hashtag think outside the big box, buy local. Yeah. And Jack, you're my hero, man. Seriously. The so that's just my personal mix. Now I know that there's going to be certain things I have to buy out of a store, and I'm not begrudging that fact. I would like to find ways around it. But one of the things I want to point out is that some people can afford. I can afford to buy food even at the prices they are right now. But I'm still looking for ways to beat that food bill. I'm still looking actively, and I speak with my wife about this all the time, saying, we come up with little little schemes, if you will. Okay, how can we, I want to buy the pig, straight from the farmer. I want to go straight to the processor. Then I want to bring it back. I want to put it in the freezer, but I want to sell some of the parts that I don't really want. How can we make that happen? So that it helps to make our food a little bit cheaper, thinking outside the big box store,
And that is, the thing because, the demand for local food, I've been saying this, the other day, it's only going to grow, you know, the food system is changing. And the question really is are we going to change with it? You know, I put a question over
Right.
there, and I pinned it. So it's in there, so take a look at that over there. It's what are some ways you all have changed the way you buy food? So we'd like to hear from you, so let us know something about that, so we can maybe talk about it. Cause we all got to make little adjustments and changes, but we want to hear some of the ways y'all have. But bro, didn't you have something you wanted to share? Okay.
Yeah, I do. But before we do, I want to take a second to make a legal clarification here. Um, that yes, I did coin the first part, but Jack did buy the buy local portion of it. So think outside the big box, buy local. So if anybody wants to know, I can no longer claim wholeheartedly that I coined it entirely. But thank you
Call
for
the
that
trademark
part, Jack.
office.
Just
Call
an
the,
acknowledgement.
call the trademark office.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative effort,
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here's one that Jack put in there about buy seeds and grow it. You I
Absolutely.
say Teresa Jukowitz,
Yeah.
buy in bulk. You know, that's a
Mhm.
way to save money for
Right.
sure. A lot of times, and of course, now if you're like me, that doesn't necessarily work. And I say that because here's what I'll do: I'll buy it and I'll use some of it, and the rest will sit over on a shelf, and I'll forget I own it because I know me. But and that's the thing: you've got to know yourself, and you got to know your
Yeah.
own, habits. Uh,
Yeah.
but
Right.
but there is good options there, to do that. And uh, I mean, I've shared before about the clean cooking, and how we order meal prep so that it's healthier. Where actually I'm spending less money than I would spend if I went and bought all that stuff at the grocery store, at the big box stores, and it's ready to go. So I mean, I'm a little spoiled in that. Takes care of my lunch every day, but
Right. So yeah, bro, I do want to get into this and point something out. Now, this is thinking outside the big
okay.
box store, buy local kind of idea. And it's just I thought it was really clever, and maybe you guys have heard of it and I'm just like really way behind on the bell curve or something like that, but anyway, yeah, I just want to do a share screen and show you what one solution that I come across is. Okay, this is an article from the Irish Sun. It is Irish. But, it says right up here that dozens of families are expected to dig for their dinner this weekend in a novel way to collect fresh produce at farms at a fraction of the retail cost. Now that goes on and talks about what they did. And of course, a lot of people, learn where their food comes from. But I thought it was a really ingenious way, for them to cut costs, by thinking a little bit outside of the big box store and buy local, as Jack said. So anyway, yeah. What do you guys think about that?
So basically, they're trading labor for food. Is that what I'm getting
That,
there?
that, that that's what I'm picking up anyway.
But
Well, right, they're
right,
they're cutting
and
their
it's helping
cost, right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
helping
and
farmers.
their time.
Yeah.
So it would seem, and I think that's good. I think that's a creative way
Yeah.
to co-op, and that to me that kind of tags in almost a similar thing to a community garden or CSA thing.
Yeah.
I think that might be a novel approach. If you know a person who grows a large garden, who grows, or that type of has that type of operation, kind of like what is it over there, Knothole, there by you,
Mhm.
the chat. You
Hmm.
go
Yeah.
out there, and you know, oh, somebody clicked out. We both clicked the same
I
thing.
I was about to bring up the comment too, so don't worry.
Uh, but anyway, but again, you're going out there, you're helping them harvest for
Hmm.
discounted price. You know, uh, You know,
Yeah, I think that's an amazing thing. And of course, I don't know if you could open it up like
no,
that on a
I
daily
mean, that's no,
basis, but you would have moments or times like every so often that you open up a window of time that people can come out there and pick their own. But yeah, it's like that, Jack. It's like a you pick it, you know, uh,
I mean, talking about
pick and
knowing where your
pay.
food comes. Oh dear, Rebecca's commented. I think there's a chick stuck behind that heater. Must be talking about Jack's incubators. Don't know. And well,
Oh,
Dakota brought this up.
right.
What's it, with con Azure, which
Yeah.
Azure Standard, I know we're talking about, is neat. Now that's order your food and it's done the correct way, and then it is uh, dropped. They have drops where they have shipping and that type of thing. What I like about it, I
Mhm.
mean, I think, what little bit I've read and been able to figure out is, of course, it does save the time of going to the store. It keeps you from going to those box stores, and they've got good quality stuff. And, you know, to me, I think it's almost like, still keeping some convenience because you order it and it shows up. Yeah. So, you know, uh, but I'm thinking, and I'm guessing, Jack, I kind of I'm seeing the chat roll over here. I'm guessing you've got a camera on your chicks on your incubator and watch it. Okay.
He does. Yeah, he does right now. He said
Okay.
they're hatching now. Yeah, I
Okay.
seen
All
that a
right.
little bit
That's
earlier.
awesome.
Yeah,
Well, listen. Right.
which
Really.
is kind of cool.
Um, so we've given you kind of some of the ways that we can buy food differently, or things that we can do different, but mainly it's getting local, it's getting engaged, going to farmers markets, those types of things. you know because here's the deal: knowing your farmer means fresher food, safer choices, and a stronger community. Uh-huh. Oh, you're counting. Okay, three.
3 things. Yeah, I'm counting 3 things that you just said that it's an
Right.
advantage for
Fresher
all of that thing.
fresher food,
You know what I mean?
safer choices, and a stronger community. Hence our hashtag stronger together that we always say. Uh,
So I wanna point out that that's a win-win-win
win-win.
solution, okay? That's all winning
And
solutions
I'm
right
going to hit
there.
this right fast. Our buddy Dakota over there at Con, if you make your own products like cleaners and detergents, it's real helpful getting bulk stuff. Yeah, I've got that in my prep, but I haven't started implementing it in the house on a regular basis, and I might need to. Um, you know,
Well, Josh
yeah, he's doing
recently
like
started doing that. My son Josh, who also has been on this program before, he's a real advocate from making your own cleaning products and your own soap, that sort of thing. And he'll tell you, "Oh, that soap you're buying over there, that ain't good for you. You should come over here and try this one." So yeah,
I
you're right.
Dakota just shared that Shayla's bought a cell camera for the goat barn, trying to figure out how to live stream it. That'll be interesting. And talk to Jack.
Talk to
There you go.
Jack.
But listen, folks, no, seriously, we've hit it hard a lot. We've joked a lot tonight, but at the same time, a lot of good information, and really, this is about the local revolution. And it is about getting back local. And we encourage you, try the local food challenge. Buy one local food item this week, just one local item. And and then what? Hey, tag us on social media when you shop local. Let us know what you're. Keep
Mhm.
us in the
Let us
loop.
know.
And I mean it's a big thing. I'm glad you brought that. I was looking at that. 3B Homestead, a great video on laundry soap.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've not done it. Maybe we need to get Josh to help us on showing how to do some soaps. I know
Yeah.
there's out there, but yeah, I like that. Great video on laundry soap, because that is, that's how things were done. We didn't go down to the store and buy a box of
Mhm.
Tide or whatever other brand you like, or a jug of this or a pods. No, they made their soaps. They made their detergents. That's how they had to do things. But and I think that's important. And bro, so do we have our next episode figured out?
You know what? Let me go over here and take a look at it. Uh, we do have our next episode, but before we do that, or while I'm looking that up, I just want to remind everybody that Ryan goes live every 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday on the Farm to Table Direct Show, morning edition. And we just ask everybody to, go out there, especially if you're awake. And even if you're not awake, you can watch it later. But I've kind of gotten to where I'm looking forward to that every morning. Oh, what's Bro talking about today? And the relevant topics. And so, anyway, everybody go out there and check that
Guys,
part
get up
out.
early with me and a few others, and Scotty and Jack's in there quite a bit. Teresa, pretty much everybody. Our local people. They're in there. Join me in the morning tomorrow. I will be live. No Memorex. Tomorrow we'll be live, and we are talking about water. Water, the life of the garden party. Okay. It's what we're talking about tomorrow, and water and its role in your garden and a successful garden. So that's what we're going to get into tomorrow at 6 a.m. So,
Yeah. Okay, so next week, Tuesday, March the 11th, we will be doing a show on the cost of cheap food. What are you really paying for? So that's going to be the title of next week's show. And of course, our overarching topic and theme for this month, easy for me to say, is taking control of your food. That's the overarching topic for this month. And once again, March the 11th, that's Tuesday, next Tuesday at 7. The cost of cheap food, what are you really paying for?
And that's a good episode, and I'm glad we got that teased out. Listen, folks, here's the best part. We've held this to the end. We haven't even dropped a clue. We haven't said a thing about this. Okie Homestead Expo. Okay, today is the 4th day of March, so it is 16 days and a wake up before the good old expo up in Pryor, Oklahoma. Here's the deal. We here at the Farm to Table Direct Show, we have two, where's my camera? Two tickets that we're going to be giving away. Right? Next Tuesday, the 11th of March, on the show live, we're going to do our giveaway for 2 tickets to the Okie Homestead Expo. That's right. Count them 2. What do they got to do?
Well, I'm glad that you asked me. Well, what you have to do is share this video and maybe even share, share this video. How about this video? Or, and share it to either Facebook, YouTube. It doesn't matter. Probably Facebook, because we always track what gets shared over in Facebook of our things, if you have a Facebook. And that way we can track our entries. I don't know. I'm trying to see inside of here people in this particular group, which ones would be eligible to go and which ones are not already going. But, let people know, because, it's our way of introducing new people to homesteading and to growing your everything local and the Farm to Table Direct Show and all of these wonderful people in this community. And last year we had a couple of winners, and they did show up, and we did interview them, and they had an amazing time, and I think you guys will too. So if you are within the sound of my voice, be sure to share this and like it, and let us know that you shared it. Put it down in the comments. Hey, I shared this. And if I see that, I'll research it, and if indeed you did, we will enter you into the drawing, which will be at the end of the show next Tuesday night in our little golden Rolo. We will put your names in there, and we will draw out one lucky winner of 2 tickets to the Okie Homestead
And Bro, I
Expo.
think it'd be a good idea. We'll get this out on social with this attached to this video, and link and all, whatever people can, be aware of it, and they can share the video even if they watch it later. I think that'd be a good thing.
But I will say, to give the days of the expo, in case anybody's to know, they are Friday, March 21st and Saturday, March 22nd. So at the Mays County Fairgrounds in Pryor, Oklahoma. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. We are
Thank
so
you for that,
excited for
Dakota.
it. Looking forward to it. Meeting everybody again, hanging out, getting to do interviews, talking to people. Great food like chocolate covered cheesecake and kettle corn, and
Yeah, the stuff that tortured me last year. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Sorry, Jack.
But anyway, folks, we need to get it on out of here.
Yeah.
We have creeped over the hour mark, and I know there's other things to get going on your Tuesday night. We do appreciate you all coming in and hanging out with us. We especially appreciate everybody that made comments, that joined us in the chat. Again, drawing ticket giveaway next Tuesday night at the end of the show. Share this video. Share this video. Share it on Facebook in particular. Let us know you shared it. However you need to do it, but get yourself entered. Tell your friends, have them go click on it, watch the video, share it, all that, because we want to give.
Hey, I also want to say, if you are already going to it, or if you've already got your tickets, win these tickets and give them to a friend. That's it. Win and give them to a friend. Want to make friends? Win a ticket.
Man, boy, Rebecca, killing me there. I wish you had a car too. It'd be great to have you there. Greg brought up a good point. Trump's fixing to speak, so everybody's going to watch that. Let's get it here because it is State of the Union tonight or whatever that is. Listen, folks, we will see you. I'll be back 6 o'clock in the morning. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. We are #Stronger Together. We appreciate you all. Hit the like button, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. There we go. Get it all out there. It's how we spread this message. It's how we build the food community, the farm community, and the homestead community. It takes all of y'all, and we're there with you all the way. So, as we always say at the end of every episode of the Farm to Table Direct Show, prepare for the unexpected and
keep it local.
Roll us out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.